Well, welcome to this third part in a three-part series on the 10 steps to forgiveness, which, if you've been with me, know is part of a larger series called Get on Board the Forgiveness Cruise, the journey to be stabilized. And this is video number 12. If you've been with me from the beginning, congratulations. I'm proud of you. This is hard stuff. There's a lot of material that are covered, a lot of it very quickly. It takes a while to really absorb it, to appropriate it, to own it, etc. Anyway, so we're going to go through number 7 through 10 in terms of the steps. And just watch the videos if you haven't seen 1 and 2 instead of me going through the summary. I think it's there for you to see it, and it's done, I think, succinctly anyway. So, okay, let's do number 7. Yeah, maybe I should introduce myself. My name is Mr. Advocate. I'm the founder of Rise to Your Top. We're all about undergirding the mother bear to help her stabilize, her cubs. And of course, a major way to do that is to stabilize herself. So we're about stabilization, hence the word, over here. Okay, let's get right into it. Step number 7. Step number 7 is decide to forgive. And decisions are now difficult because we have prenuptial agreements, we have plan B, plan C, plan D. So a decision is there is no plan B. It's a what do I say? No going back. This is it. So if you don't make a true decision, a stake in the cement decision, then the probability, at least, of forgiving somebody else really diminishes dramatically. Another part of decision making is that it's the fullness of self. It's the mind, it's the heart, it's the soul, it's the body, it's all of us. And all of us need to be in one accord. So, for example, we might say, I think I really should forgive, or I want to. I'm thinking about it and I confidently making the decision to do it, except my emotions say, no, I don't want to do this. This doesn't feel good in terms of doing it, even though this is a good idea. It doesn't feel good to me. So the one accord really means that our entire system is on board, with forgiveness. And at this point too, I like to mix in that to make sure it's a real decision, is to rethink the fact that this person who violated us doesn't deserve to be forgiven. So a decision to forgive is much more difficult in the context of saying the person doesn't deserve to be forgiven. And that's sort of a test as well to see if we really have forgiven, that we're doing that with the understanding and the remembrance of the fact that they don't deserve to be forgiven. And then the other thing that I recommend doing to make sure it's a true decision is we've been using, as you know, the metaphor of a court case where we put the violation, on trial. And we went all the way through pronouncing sentence, and we haven't carried it out yet, but we have pronounced, the sentence in terms of the violation. So at this point in time, if you've decided to forgive somebody, then I continue with the metaphor and suggest you go through the idea that you're pleading to the judge to allow you to pay the time, pay for the crime, write the check, whatever the cost is. Because a judge says, no, that person's guilty. They need to go to jail, and or whatever the penalty is. But we're saying, no, we want to do it. We'll pay for it. So justice will be done, Your Honor. Justice will be done, but I want to really pay for it. And the judge may say, why? And say, well, there's a number of reasons. One is that I believe it's going to benefit me if I forgive this person since I'm the one that's been violated. Two, I believe it's going to benefit the person. Now, it's just a potential, but it could really benefit them recognizing that somebody is going to pay for something they did. It really may have a big impact on them and quote unquote rehabilitate them. And that's maybe why we're sending them to jail to rehabilitate. This may be as powerful, if not more powerful, in doing that. And of course, I want community to know that, the justice has been made and that we all can look at people maybe a little differently, and that we have done some violation, to somebody else, and that we need to be a community and metaphorically put our arms around people. So, Your Honor, I think these things, justify you making the decision to have me pay for it. Please, please. Okay, you can do it. So it's a pleading process to really ensure that you're on board, with forgiving. All right, another real hard thing. This is step number 8. Provide the payment. Okay, it's sort of an academic up to this point in time. Now, show me the money, write the check, whatever the cost is. And in this, I wanted to give some examples of what might be the payment, for forgiveness. And of course, it could literally, be a check in real life. But things that we're to give up, things that are going to cost us something, and hopefully things that actually will improve us by actually giving up. Like the first one, give up revenge, hate, and anger toward the person that violated you. And that's easy said, really difficult, to do. And we really want to hold on to these things. They actually gave us a level of stability. Anger gave us a level of stability. It was a coping mechanism, in terms of the violation. So giving this up, don't hear that as any small thing. It's a huge thing. It's a big cost. Ooh, another one. Make changes within yourself, within ourselves. Okay, so we recognize that to forgive, we had to go through a be forgiven process. So we recognize that we have flaws. We recognize that we have levels of depravity. And so we recognize it. So what? Are we going to do something about it becomes the issue. So another cost could be that we are going to, we decided to make changes in our own life. We would be looking at things, well, how am I or how have I violated other people? Am I going to repeat that violation or not? Am I going to do something to change my thinking, my behavior, etc.? So make changes to yourself. To prevent, to yourself, to prevent violating others, as I said. Another cost is to determine to do something good for your violator. Okay, I thought I was already doing something good for my violator, and that, I'm paying for the violation. I'm paying the time. I'm paying the crime, This one is additional payment in that, okay, they've been set free. I paid to get them out of jail free card for them, not free for me, but free for them. I'm going to do something on top of that. On top of that. Yeah, so you try to get to know the person, to do something that's good for them. Get to know the person and do something that would benefit their life. So that knowing another person, even in the context of being flawed, changes things. But there is a cost to us. Changes dynamics of how we deal with violators, both ourselves and others. But there's still a cost, Then say, I'm not going to stop here in terms of forgiving this person who violated me, this one person, but probably, if we've been around for a long time, there's more than one persons that have violated us. So, so then we say, hey, I'm going to actually go through a process of becoming a person who forgives. That's my nature now, even though it's not my natural nature. It's going to be my values, maybe our character. I'm going to develop these values. I'm going to develop, the character, to forgive others. And then you got to ask yourself, did this really cost me a lot, this payment? And it really needs to. And there's just a dynamic of that heavy duty cost for it that seals that you've forgiven, the person. So again, number 8 is payment, and it might be different, obviously, for each of us. These are just, examples of payment. But the key is it wasn't some words that came out of your mouth. There was a real cost, a substantial cost, a sacrificial cost, if you like, to pay for this person's violation, towards you. Then step 9. Step 9 is you've been doing this within yourself. You may not, again, even know this person or seen this person, be in contact. Well, you know them because they violated you, but they may not be part of the process, is really what I'm trying to say here. But part of forgiving is then a public pardon, to say to others who know, specifically those who know you were violated by this person, to publicly go and state to them, I have pardoned them. I have forgiven them. I've paid the price. I'm doing the time for them. So justice has been done, but because of what I'm doing is why justice is being done. And then ask them to do the same thing. Because, when you've been violated by somebody else, your closest friends and family, they're violated. We're connected. So one person gets violated, the other person gets violated. So it'd be good that they be set free too, but you can remind them that you paid for it. They don't have to step up and pay for it. If they believe that's necessary, fine, let them do it. But reiterate to them, you've paid the price. You're just asking them just to pardon them, as well. So that's the 9 steps in terms of giving forgiveness and receiving forgiveness. And the last step is to count the benefits. Now, you're not going to do this like right after you've done the forgiveness, because the benefits may take some time to develop. So you want to keep your eye on changes and dynamics in yourself, how you impact other people, and maybe the violator, what they've done. Look for the benefits, because again, that's a fuel, that's a power, that's an energy to continue with the forgiveness process. And then promote the necessity of giving and receiving forgiveness. And you're not going to do that unless you have experienced the benefits yourself. So to become this person, a healer, it's necessary that you experience the benefits of forgiving and or receiving, forgiveness. 10 steps. Each one is, I think, a pretty big step. And that's why I keep saying this isn't something that you're just going to jump into. This is a full preparation that one has to go through. So again, if you've lasted this far with me, congratulations. I did promise in my last video that I'm going to do one additional video that will have some action plan strategies in it, some things you might consider, doing. And they're not going to be obvious. The obvious might be jump into this, but I keep saying don't. So I'm going to give you some strategies, some next steps that you can do to move yourself forward and develop yourself so that you can be a person who can both receive forgiveness and give forgiveness. So that's it for this presentation. Wait for the other one. So there's actually going to be 13 videos, in total. And then we'll decide where we're going to go, from there. Again, thanks for supporting me. Thanks for subscribing, to the channel. It encourages me to keep going. I think I'm at around. I think I told you this already. I'm around video number 20. I made a commitment to do 72 videos, all around the aspect of being stabilized and really staring down anxiety and depression and panic attacks and bad thoughts in our head, PTSD, and those types of things that are plaguing us, based upon, well, the environment that we're living in and some natural causes as well. So to the next one, you have a great day and have a great week and remain strong. And I look forward to seeing you very shortly, because I'll get this other one done, I would say, within a week. Again, bye for now.